Hey guys, today's Just Move video is going to focus a little bit more on just spine rotation. Okay, so we're just going to start off pretty simply with arm swings going across our chest. Remember, we want to put focus always on bracing our body in the positions that we want to use. So as we hit these different positions, we're actually using our body in a way that we want to be able to use it. So draw your lower abs in, hold your kegels, squeeze your butt cheeks, push your feet on the floor, rib cage down, stand tall. And let's get those shoulders back in their sockets. Now let's go up and back. As you go up, make sure your hands rotate to face behind you. And as you come back, make sure they rotate again the opposite way to face behind you. So we want the palms of your hands always facing behind you. Then we're going to do big arm swings backwards. Make sure you don't whack your hand on something. Big ones forwards. And then we're just going to rotate. I like to get my lower body involved so we can get nice and tight and we can just rotate the upper body. But then we can get that lower body involved also. Then let's hinge at the waist, and let's stay and only rotate that upper body, and then get that lower body going with it. So during this, we want to make the distinction of just my upper body move or everything moving. So a lot of these things, a lot of people feel like they're really easy to do until we lock that lower body down. And then we can really get into that back. All right, so now what I want you to do is just take a wide stance. We're just going to shove your hips forward. This is the move where awkwardly I have to not make eye contact with you guys. All right, now just take your hands and go up and back. Up and back. When you start making sounds like this, it lets people know that you're really stretching. So make sure if anyone's around, make sure that they know that you're working hard here. All right, then let's just go down one side. Let's trace semicircles on the ground. Just kind of wiggling back and forth as we go here. All right, so now we're going to start on all of these moves whenever we add rotation in today. We're going to start by rotating our whole body, and then we're going to tie just the upper body in. So let's start just by putting one hand on the ground, and then whole body is going to rotate up. Notice what my hand is doing. Shoulder back, I'm rotating like this, so my palm is facing back. This is going to mimic shoulder positions that we use all the time. Then I'm going to go to the other side. Everything is rotating. I'm going to take a few breaths here. All right, so now, instead of letting my hips rotate, I'm going to keep my hips perfectly still, and it's just my back that I want to rotate. So notice I don't go nearly as high. Let's switch sides. As I rotate just my back. Let's do that one more time. Take a couple breaths. Switch. Breath. All right, so now we're going to move onto the ground. We're going to do some cat and cows. So let's drop your belly to the ground, flip your tailbone up, look up, and drop your shoulders. As I drop my shoulders, I'm still creating that rotation into the ground. And then I'm going to push everything away, round everything as I push away from the ground. I'm just going to go in and out of these positions. Really, I'm trying to focus on every one of my vertebrae, extending, and every one of my vertebrae rounding. All right, so now what we want to do is we're going to get back on all fours, and we're going to get hips and everything involved. So let's put your hand on your head, and we're just going to rotate everything as high as possible. Breathe, switch sides. Everything as high as possible. Breathe, come back. So now on this one, I want you to keep your hips perfectly still. So draw your lower abs in, rib cage down, hand here, hips don't move, and rotate as high as you can. Breathe, relax, try and get further, and switch sides. Keep everything perfectly still, rotate up, breathe, relax. You might notice my left side rotates a lot better than my right side. It's something I'm working on. That's why I do these movements each day. Back to that original side, up. What I also notice is after I've done it just one time, I'm able to get much higher there. Switch sides. All right, let's go one more time. And back. All right, now we're going to flip on our backs. Just going to put our arms out to the side. Straight leg, pointed toe. Keep those arms and shoulders out. Try and touch your toe to your opposite hand. Then we're going to come back up. Try and touch that toe to the opposite hand. And just switching back and forth. Let's do it a couple more times. Make sure to even it out. All right, now we're going to come back up. Back to all fours. Twist into the ground, and now you're going to reach through and under. You're going to try and get your chest as high up to the ceiling as possible. Breathe. I like to pull on the ground. Switch sides. And I pull on the ground to help get that chest up as high as I can. Big breath in, let it out, and try and rotate more. All right, one more time. Switch. All right, then let's put our hands forward, twist our hands to the floor, push your hands into the floor, and drive your head down. Keeping that rib cage pulled down, we're going to wiggle from side to side. Stay active in your hands, so really push and rotate those elbow pits up to the ceiling. And then we're going to finish it off just by getting in a push-up position. Right foot next to right hand. Back leg straighten off the ground. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Draw your belly button in. Shove your hips down. Then we're going to straighten that leg. Then we're going to change our direction. So I'm going to rotate my hips towards my foot. I'm going to shove my hips down. Straighten that leg. Rotate away from my foot. Shove my hips down. Straighten that leg. And then I'm just going to switch sides. Shove my hips down. Straighten that leg. We're going to rotate towards the foot. Shove your hips down. Straighten the leg. Then away from the foot. Shove your hips down. Straighten that leg. So, a lot of times, we blame shoulder mobility on having trouble getting into these in-range overhead positions, but really, it's my upper back or my thoracic spine's ability to rotate and extend up that really limits me. So if my upper back is a little bit here, and I try and get my arm up over my head, I'm stuck. But if I can get a little bit of movement in that upper back, just that alone can change the angle of that shoulder and put it in a much better leveraged position. All right, had fun, enjoy.